Michael Jackson made a song. I know we're all anti-Michael Jackson right now. Hashtag mute Michael Jackson. But he made that song, They Don't Really Care About Us. And he had a line that said, "Jew me, do me." And on the radio stations, they immediately cleaned it up where it was just like a audio blur. So you didn't hear the word Jew.
He said, "Jew me, screw me, everybody do me, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us." Now,
right.
They made him repress the albums without those lines in the song. So all of this money he has, and next thing you know, they taking pictures of his genitals saying that he's a pedophile molesting children. Now, I don't know if he was or not, so I'm not defending Michael on any level. What I am saying is this. All the money that he had didn't stop him from getting to the point where he said Tommy Mottola's the devil. Now he's running around with the Nation of Islam. Michael didn't show any predisposition to be pro-black, but he got beat up so bad once he bought the Beatles catalog, and now he owns the rights to the Beatles music. He's making power moves economically, and we saw how much power he had. Bill Cosby. Yeah, Bill Cosby, we thought he was wealthy. No, he's black rich. He's black rich.
But he used to be.
But he's still in a system of poverty because, again,
now he's like this. He's behind bars.
Right. Yeah. But he said, "I want to buy NBC because I want to do better programming." Well, the small hats have said, "No, we're doing programming designed to create the world that we want. You're not going to go in and do any programming." He said, "I'm buying NBC." His son ended up dead.
I remember when he made that statement, and then not too long, Ennis was killed. There's been a lot of talk, particularly in the conscious thought community and those who like to stay informed, that he really wasn't making moves to purchase NBC, but he was talking about it. And some people make a big distinction about him talking about it and actually making moves towards that end. I don't know where that landed.
Yeah, well, back during that time, he was serious. He was about to buy, he wanted to buy NBC because he had seen, this is the thing. And again, it goes back to poverty and the system that we're in. Sometimes people get beside themselves and don't really understand what they're really dealing with. And this is all my interpretive perspective. But basically, Cosby was in a situation, on some level, I know we see some of the things that he was accused of and may have done. But outside of that, I'm talking about from the perspective of just being a guy who took over television with a program that ultimately was about decency. Strong family moral values. That's what the story about. Good family, children going to school, parents love their children, grandparents, family. That's what the program's about. He saw the ability to take over TV with that and said, if you give good programming, he got all these children when he spun off to different world, people like myself, all of us, we went to black colleges because we say, hey man, I want to be to black college. He gave us that image, we did it. So he decided, he started seeing the filth that was on TV and said, I want a whole station because I can put out positive, good programming that can get good results. I mean, well-intentioned. He didn't understand what that really meant.
It is interesting how that really influenced a whole generation of us to go to HBCUs. Now, you and I went to Hampton University, but I remember we would sit there and watch A Different World in the dormitories. We'd all gather around, and it was kind of like a scene from that, Dear White People show where everybody watched TV together. We really did that. We really engaged in that activity where we watched those shows together. And I do remember how powerful that TV show was.
Yeah. And see, but again, it goes to when they originally did that, NBC was failing. They were just looking for some money. And they wanted something to hit. When Cosby came out and it was a hit, they were making money. And they took over TV with the ratings. So they could charge more for advertising and all that kind of stuff. So it was an economic thing. But once Cosby started taking it in a different direction, because now it started, like you said, it started affecting the way young people thought and what we did. It took us away from the idea of wanting to sell dope and all this kind of stuff and say, I want to go to college. I want to have a good future. I want to meet these women in college and have, I want to think and be in class. And we started thinking differently. He began to have impact on not just, see, I want people to go back in time. It wasn't just the Cosby Show. Now the Cosby Show comes out. Now everybody in the different networks are trying to compete with the Cosbys. So you got Rock. So you start getting these, you start.
Whoa.
And Rock got to the
point.
Where,
Whoa. What was the sister's name on Rock? I got to diverge for a second, man. What was that sister's name on Rock?
She was fine. I don't remember her name. I know she was fine, boy. His wife, woo.
Woo! She was okay. All right. Back to the
Let's bring it back. Let the brother bring it back.
Take a woman break just to appreciate that sister.
Look, you notice I ain't asked you which one. I knew exactly who you was talking about. He had quite a wife, didn't he?
Woo!
But
and she was a strong woman too.
A good woman. I'm gonna tell you what's funny when you say that. And I tell people this, they always laugh because I was young. But do you know the single black woman that eliminated like all other races from my consciousness in terms of looking at women? Because we were growing up, it was Heather Locklear and there was all these other white females that we thought were pretty because they were the ones that were on TV. One black woman came to TV, and literally after that moment, I never ever looked at other women outside the black race. Like she completely wiped the rest of them out. You know who that was?
Who was that?
Cosby's wife.
Really?
I knew he was going to say that.
Felicia Rashad?
Bruh.
Yes.
Listen, bruh. She was smart. She was fine. She had a smile that'll kill you. I was done.
All right.
I was like, the black woman, that's it. Ain't no others. Yeah, that's her right there on Rock. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, she still is. Ella Joyce is still blessed. I'll put it that way.
Beautiful woman.
Yeah, that's her now. She's still blessed. But so you're saying Felicia Rashad
changed the whole game for me. When she came on, she was an attorney. She was fine. She was funny. She was an intelligent woman. She was everything I want in a woman.
Okay.
And I was a young guy, but she was just beautiful. I liked her. She was like a black woman, She had a personality. Look at that. Come on, man. You know what?
I have to admit, I was team Denise. I was all into some Denise back then. Felicia Rashad reminded me too much of the people I grew up with, the women I grew up with. So, but you know what? Looking at this picture here.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I never saw this picture, but she got a little Ola Ray thing going on right there. You know what I mean? Hey, you remember Ola Ray?
I do.
Okay. I'm sure, Crumb Snatcher, you may not remember Ola Ray. I'm sure you don't. She was yeah, that's her back in the day, man. She was okay. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Go ahead, iGenie, man. Go ahead, iGenie.
Well, one of the things that happened was, again, we got Rock, we get these other programs, and if you remember, Rock went from Joey being silly at one time to the point where now Rock is becoming a politician. He's going to run for mayor.
Right.
Fighting dope in the black community with Tone Loc, and they going out cleaning up the community and doing things to try to get free health care for people. And they were taking on serious issues and showing real manhood and real womanhood and community cooperation and responsibility. And they really began to change the climate of the way we looked at the world. And if we look at what we have today, and we look at what we had then, we will understand that in order to get our people in the condition we're in today, you could not have had this kind of programming continue.
Right, right.
So they wiped Rock out for no good reason. It was getting great ratings. They wiped it out. Cosby Show went off and everything. So when Bill Cosby comes back talking about, I'm going to come back on air and try to buy a network, the reason that was an issue is because, unbeknownst to us, a decision had been made where the direction of degeneracy and debauchery that media was going to go into. And they did not want anything healthy and decent to be available for our people. Now, they didn't announce that to us, but they don't want to have to compete with anything. And the idea of Bill Cosby owning a major network, and we already know the direction he's going to push things with, because we can look at the Cosby Show, it totally counter to the homophile, degeneracy, Me Too, feminist, anti-male, anti-family, do it for yourself, freaky deaky type of environment that we're in now.